Anyway, Promise Mangum, Pop-Up Podcast, down here at 301 North Main Street in Winston, North Carolina. Hey. This is a really, really awesome day. That's about it. We up here, 24th floor. It's a Tuesday.
On a Tuesday.
People didn't know Pilot Mountain. We could see Pilot Mountain over here. You know why? Because we're that high up in the air. Hey, it's fun. This is fun. Also, shout out to Voices of Winston. I am also doing their takeover right now, so this is pretty fun. Have somebody ask me to take over their IG for a day. Mm-hmm. Hey, this is pretty fun. It's real good. Interviewing good people, getting stuff done, showing people what I do on a daily basis. This is awesome, and this is what I'm talking about. This is what is all about, which is connectivity. Learning different trades, tricks, and stuff like that from everybody, and really just being a better person. And this is why I did the Pop-Up Podcast, so we can learn from each other. So right now, next to me is a young brother. Y'all might know him. You may not know him, but guess what? After this show, you will get to know him, and you will know him, and you will love everything that he does. Go ahead and start off, brother.
How y'all doing out there? It's your boy L.A. Montana, known as Tae the Great. I'm here to talk to y'all, give y'all little words of wisdom, let y'all know what I got coming in store for y'all, and, get your ears and mind ready.
Ears and mind.
Ears and mind.
Y'all,
ears and mind.
I don't think y'all really understand what's about to happen. Like this show's about to be like, very powerful. That's about it. Very powerful. So go ahead and tell people where you start off.
I do. Been doing music since I was about 7 years old. Mm-hmm. First started off in a small apartment complex. We had fire alarms going off, so when we used to record, we used to have to worry about the smoke detector going off because they ain't had no batteries in there or whatnot.
Oh, man.
And we just pretty much started off. Me and my cousin pretty much started off basic, just doing music in the studio, a little small studio, mm-hmm. and took a break from it from a while to play sports. Then, I got my mind back right, and then decided to come back into the music, and do my thing and let people hear these words that I got to say. I got a lot of things that I feel like people can relate to. I got a story. I feel like I got a story to tell mm-hmm. that people can relate to, and I just got good music, good vibes. It come with a lot of good. Just come with a lot of good everything. You'll know that when you listen.
So you say you started off younger, then you went to the sports. What sports?
I played football in high school for 4 years.
Gotcha. And then
after that, it was a wrap. I go to college and mess my wrist up. So
oh man,
yeah, it's a done deal.
Gotcha. So that pushed you to further your stuff in the music.
It kind of music really never left the mind.
Mm-hmm.
and it never really left the heart. Sometimes you gotta take breaks. You gotta figure out what it is that you really want to do with your life.
Mm-hmm.
And at the time, music was what I wanted to do with my life, but I wasn't as passionate in it as I am now.
Gotcha.
A lot of things that I did before, I don't do now. I don't just go to any and everybody's studio like how I used to, trying to get out here, trying to get my name out of here. I'm pretty much on a level with it now where you can see me on the street and I give you a free mixtape just because I just want you to listen to me, hear me out, and hear what I got to say.
Understood. So you're very technical when it comes to your moves. Like you position yourself in certain areas or certain things or whatever. Not only just recording of the music, but what you're putting out there as well. So you really take the time to really think about that right now, right?
A lot of things that I do with my music, maybe a lot of it I try to base it on what I done went through in my life.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to be that type of musician or that type of artist who, I'm in a Lamborghini,
mm-hmm.
I'm in a Porsche 911, and then in reality, I'm just another kid from the East Side. So I don't want nobody to have no kind of false views of me or feel like, yeah, man, I look at LA like he gonna be like this, or I look at LA like he gonna be like that. What you see is what you get. When it comes down to you listening to my music, when it comes down to you actually listening to the lyrics, listening to what it is I am bringing to the table, because it's something that's just different. And you know, they try to say like, everybody out here sound the same. I'm just trying to bring something different to the table.
I don't hear that.
You know,
like, no, for real. I mean, like, you know, I done had a couple of rappers up here on the 24th floor, EBS Suites, 301 North Main Street, Winston, North Carolina. We done had a couple of people up here, and honestly, like, there has been a very different collective as far as music-wise of people in Winston. Like, they kind of sort of gravitate to their own little thing. And I think it's pretty cool. Like, you know, you got a lot of people who say, like, okay, Atlanta's just this. It's not. But a lot of people say that because that's what is put out there. Or that's what's, you know, getting hooked or whatever the case is. But I know for a fact musicians and it's just the musicianship of Atlanta is different. And I think Winston has that same type of capabilities.
Right. First of all, I'm gonna shout out Atlanta. I spent 3 years down there in Atlanta, and the 3 years that I did spend down there, musically wise, from what I do know, you can be involved with someone down there who doing music, who just coming up in music, and just because you know you're dedicated and you want to actually get in the studio and you actually want to set down platforms and goals and guidelines that you want to go by, like if your music hot, they gonna accept you. Definitely. Down there, they have problems with people of their own kind. Before they have a problem with someone who just who not even from there. So you know, I do agree.
Why is that?
There's a lot of people down there it's a lot of people here. You know, like they say Winston has the same amount of rappers, same sound, same tone. It's a lot of people out here who really got their own sound and like who really got a new sound that they bring it into the game. But
Definitely.
Nobody's really like giving them a shot. It's a lot of underrated artists out there.
Yes.
You know,
is that because they're not pushing themselves? Is that because maybe the right person hasn't heard it yet? Like what that, and that's something that like I'm still trying to figure out, because there is a lot of talent here in Winston, and I know for a fact, like I've been to a couple events and stuff like that, and it's just like, yo, the whole rainbow, you know, of music genre, or not genre, but how the music's, you know, being played, or what they're saying and stuff like that. It's still considered hip hop.
Yeah.
But it's like this might be something that you might hear maybe a South Florida type dude, or you might hear maybe something like in Atlanta, or you might hear something like a Detroit type dude, you know, or whatever. But it's still, yeah, I'm still from Winston. Like I'm born and raised in Winston. It's like, okay, well, how did that happen? How did that music, you know, catalog happen like that? I'm just asking.
My thing is, I feel like, you know, you think about Winston, you think about it, you know, it's North Carolina, and then you thinking about, like you said, you talking about Florida, you talking about Atlanta, and a lot of people who are doing music in Winston, they probably never been to Florida, they probably never been to Atlanta, so for them to hear like, okay, this is how they coming, it kind of may be like influential to them to be like, you know what, maybe I might just need to throw a little. I'm gonna put it like this. I wouldn't say it's swagger jacking. I would just say it's more of like, let me put a little Florida swag in this song.
Yes.
Or let me put a little Atlanta swag on this song, and it's even better if you actually been down there to Atlanta or Florida or wherever the case may be, and actually spent time out there to know how they act and how they go about things. You know, so when you do go in there and you do put that swag and that flavor to your song, it's like, you know, you could tell, you know, that's you. You know what I'm saying?
Gotcha.
Try to be like yourself without trying to be like you from Atlanta or Florida. You know, if you're an artist from Winston, be an artist from Winston. You know, don't be an artist from Winston rapping like you in Florida or rapping like, you know, you're in Atlanta, because at the end of the day, that's not you. That, you know, that's kind of like, you know, that's not your calling. Your calling is to make music like this or make music like that. I try not to put myself in that category. I try to put myself in the category to where I'm making music for all ears to hear.
Gotcha.
You know, like I can make music and it could be relative to someone that's in the hood. I could make music and you just waking up in the morning, you just trying to have that song that's gonna get you ready to go to work. You know, I can make that. I had that type of music when you going through something. You know, when you in your feelings. You know, we all get in our feelings here and there. You know, so it's like I just try to look at myself as an artist who can relate to people on all levels. I don't just try to relate to a specific crowd.
Definitely.
You know, you think about Michael Jackson, Mariah Carey, Beyonce, and all that. When you look into the crowd and you look into the people and you see their performances live, it's a diverse audience. You know, it's not just we got black people right here, we got white people right here, we got Spanish right here. Nah. It's like, you know, a specific. It's like diverse. You know, everybody know your song. You go overseas, everybody know this lyric and everybody know that lyric. You know, I'm linking forward to being somewhat of that type of artist, but at the same time being myself and putting my craft and my work ethic into it than being like someone else.
Word. How old are you?
26.
Okay. No, that's good. That's good. Like I said, I'm just trying to process some of the stuff that you're saying, because like you're saying it from a perspective of somebody who's been in the game for a minute. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like the way you're trying to hone in on this is who I am.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, so it sounds like you're a little bit older, but you know, 26, yeah. You know, that's a good age.
Yeah, I feel like with my music, I feel like, you know, it's a gift and a curse depending on, you know, the ear that's listening. When I first started, you know, I was on a DJ equipment.
Yeah.
My sister father was a DJ. He DJing. He just playing different beats. You know, we on a microphone making little BS CDs. Switch the beat up, and now all of a sudden, I was that artist who was rapping about being in a Lamborghini, being in a Porsche, having golden showers and all that. I was that artist when I first came out, but I didn't know no better at the time, and it took for an older head to be like, look, man, you know, if you really want to do this and you really want to make it and do right by it, like, be yourself. You ain't got to be out here, you ain't got to flash this, you ain't got to flash that, because then, you know, you turn into another one of them. You know, that's the type of thing. That's what the industry do nowadays. They get someone who got that image, and then they place, well, you know what, you probably went to a private school or something, but you got that hood boy image in you. So we gonna sign you, and we gonna make you rap about this.
It almost seems like you're talking about somebody.
No. I'm not talking. No shots.
I'm not talking about nobody here. I'm talking about the whole situation that went down about snitching and all that, and some people getting. So I mean, the way you're explaining it, that you know, that's what I was like. Oh yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah. I mean, if you really look at it like, prime example, you know, if you follow the music, you know, follow again. Like I say, I study all music. Bow Wow career was cut short. Why? Because so many people were so used to him making music about women, and you know, you going from, all right. When you first see Lil Bow, you first think, you say Lil Bow Wow. You just, you know what I'm saying? And then you looking at that, and then you like, all right, that's hot. Now he coming out with more songs that's referring to the women. So it's like, okay, now you grown, you 18 years old now, and you trying to come out and be yourself, and it's like nobody's feeling that because they so used to you being that artist that the industry wanted you to be. That's why a lot of days now it's a lot of independent artists out here because nobody's trying to play that persona to the industry.
Now is that just because he was a kid, and like, you know, and growing up, I'm guessing, from child to adult, or teen or whatever the case is that something that that was a problem? Because like everyone has to grow up. You know what I'm saying? So he can't make a little kid song and he's 25, 30. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, his life may have been kind of sort of like that. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, and that's what I was just looking at. But no, I don't think he'll be out there like, I'm going to slap you in your face or blah, 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 or, whatever like that. But when you get mature, I'm thinking his lyrics should be a little more mature, stuff like that.
When Bow Wow first came out, he came out introduced by Snoop Dogg. And he came out, his flow wasn't even about women. It wasn't about getting no kind of girl in there. Like, his flow was completely different from that. So, like I say, you could look at it now like, all right, that was an audition. That might have been what got him to where he is now. But you not knowing at the end of the day, that might really how he was that whole time. He really might had that hood boy persona that whole time. But because, like you said, he was a kid, and you got someone like who's trying to, I'm not gonna say make money off a kid, but you got someone who,
like,
it is what it is. You got someone who come in and is like, you know what? Let me help you out. Let me help you out, little homie. Let me take you under my wing. Let me take you to the studio. Look. Here's a song right here.
Yeah.
You got the voice for this song, and which 9 times out of 10 that's what it always is. Like I said, you got the image for this song. It's like when you think of this song, you know what, they made that song.
Gotcha.
So like I say, when you get traumatized like that, and you just you go with doing that your whole career, and then all of a sudden you want to try something different, everybody's not going to be lenient or understandable. They're gonna feel like, oh man, you think because you grown now, this is what you can do, not knowing you've had that inside of you this whole time. But because you're in industry, you gotta go by guidelines. You gotta do this, you gotta do that. You couldn't bring that side out of you.
I like how you said traumatized. I like that. That's interesting. That's interesting. Don't know quite why, but it was interesting. I'm still trying to formulate that one in my head.
I mean, you think about it. You've been taking. You're a young kid, and just think about when you was a young kid. You going outside playing with your friends, da this, da that. You're not even doing that now. You coming up in rooms like this, or you in a studio and something like. You don't even know what a studio is, and then somebody put a mic in your face, and then here's a list of lyrics. Yeah, man, go this. Hey, man, it's gonna make you a lot of money. You're a little kid. You really not even thinking about all the money you making. You just think about what you can get, what you can be able to establish and do with all that. So that's what I mean by him being traumatized, and it traumatizes fans too. Because like I said, they went years and years and years of hearing love songs and oh girl this and oh girl that. I want to thank you for my mama. Now here's the hood. Here's the so-called real you coming out. So it's not going you being yourself is not going to hit everybody the same way. That's why when it comes down to doing this music, it's like it's a gift and a curse, man. Because if you don't go, I feel like if you don't go in there your own wave and you just try to switch up at the last minute, you just gonna have a gang of people not even following you no more. And now all of a sudden you just that artist that make music, and you're not really going nowhere with it.
You hit on some points there, bro. Yeah. I ain't gonna say like real good points, man. Dang, yeah. So, well, you know what? Let's just get into the Spitfire round because I need to take a second. I might have to call you back later on and get some more questions. I don't know because right now, you didn't just really put me out there as far as like how you explain that. Well, I guess. Well, wait a second. On the flip side of that, what do you think about Kodak? Because no, and I'm not saying like the way you said it as far as traumatizing and this is what it is. On the opposite side of that spectrum, you got a dude who was really living that life, really doing stuff like that down Florida, whatever, and getting in trouble. And what happened was, okay, I need somebody was like, look, you need to do this. You can still talk about it, but you need to do this in order to change your life, and you're going to, get on that other side because he's right now talking about he's toned it down a lot. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah, I mean, when you got all that, when you got all of that going on with the law, I mean, you really ain't got no choice. I feel like with Kodak, what he really did, what he brought to the music was he just gave people an insight on how it goes down in the dirty parts of Florida.
Mm-hmm.
Some people, you think you look at Florida, the first thing somebody wants to say, oh, Miami.
Yeah,
and if they say anything bad about Florida, it's pork and bean projects. I felt like he gave people a little more insight of what was going on with credit card fraud, identity theft. It was more to it of what his lifestyle was, and it was kind of like, okay, now y'all know how I am, and then you done got in trouble behind some of the music that you done put out, the hype off of some of the music you done put out. So now it's like, you know what? Let's tone it down now, because it's like, you know what? These people already know that I done did this and I done did that with my life. Now it's time to expand my thought of music, because you can't just make it off of street credit your whole career. There comes a play where you start switching up to giving people a little more insight, a little more what they want to hear.
So but I'm saying, so that was him consciously doing that.
Yeah,
because just looking at the other side of what you said about Bow Wow, it was him consciously saying, but I live like this, or I do this, or whatever.
Right.
So the fans reacted differently in both cases.
Yeah, see, like the thing what Kodak was, I feel like any artist really who's coming out, and you can do this going all the way back to when Pac came out, when Biggie first came out.
Mm-hmm.
Every artist, when they first come out, it's like their first album is pretty much telling you, this is me.
Yeah.
Your first album, first mixtape, whatever it is you drop, it's always going to be this is me, this is who I am, this is what I'm going to bring to the table.
Mm-hmm.
Then once you get that out of the way, all right, I know he from the streets. I know he from the hoods. I know back in the day he used to rob. I know back in the day he used to do this and he used to do that. Now, the people know you. Now it's more like making music to get them keep drawing into you. Like, yeah, I'm from the hood. Yeah, I done did this. Yeah, I did that. But I also know this. I also know that. I also done travel this place, and I also done travel that place. Since I done made my first album, I done been so many places I have never been before. Now I'm able to express my music in that form and shape to you now, because I done seen more than the streets now.
Mm-hmm.
Now I'm seeing $500-$600 outfits that I can just easily buy. Now I'm buying $10,000, $15,000, $20,000 cars that I wasn't even imagining myself being in 2-3 years ago. Now I'm looking at tall ceilings instead of being able to get up on my bed and reach my hand up and I'm touching the ceiling now. It's like a whole nother different lifestyle persona, and it's like, we know after your first album, you done made it. So why are you rapping about still being in the streets for? Why are you rapping about still doing this and doing that? And 9 times out of 10, you probably not doing it. That's how I look at it.
How that? Knowledge. Like I said, this might be the blackest show ever. This episode might be the blackest one ever, and like just in depth of just realness. Like that. You still got me just dumbfounded on this traumatized thing. I ain't gonna sit there and lie. Look, hey, it's getting that time. Hey, we gotta get ready to roll out. Sorry about that. I know. Go ahead and plug all your social. Make sure people can find you, ask you questions. All
y'all
that.
make sure y'all go follow me on Facebook, TaeLamont Boss, TaeLamont Boss. Y'all go holler at me on Instagram. Same thing. TaeLamont Boss 93. Get at me on Snapchat. Daddy Great _ Tay. And just follow the wave. Not necessarily. You know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to be like everybody else. I'm trying to be like myself. I'm trying to produce something that has never been seen before in the music world, music eyes. It's time for a new wave, man. Come hop on this one.
Hey, you heard it. Very smart brother. Very smart brother, bro.
Yes, sir.
Like I said, yo, great interview, man. Look, Promise Mangum, Papa Podcast. Hey, we're gonna be back. Hey, I hope y'all ready for this ride. That's all I gotta say. I hope y'all ready for this one because this. Hey, we gonna dig deep, and we are digging deep. And we're getting stuff done. Hey, Promise Mangum, Papa Podcast, 24th Floor Vibes.
Hey, that's a wrap.
That's it. Holla at y'all in a little bit. Voices of Winston, what's up?